think it's very important to travel because it allows you to experience different cultures
Mhm.
and, where you can get a chance to see more of the world and get a better understanding of the world.
So, today's show, we're talking about road tripping, and in the sense of domestically and internationally. I know all of us have traveled, and we've been to different places, but we really haven't necessarily talked about being in a car,
No. Yeah.
or being in a car internationally and driving. And I think all of us have gone through something like that. So.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to interview my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, who you'll probably hear from somewhere along this episode. But who wants to open up and talk about road trips? Who's got a story?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that National Lampoon's Vacation movie. That's what
With
I
the
think
family.
about. Yeah, with road tripping. I mean, we didn't do I guess we did, but mostly it was road tripping to see family, not like going out like on a multi
Yeah.
day type of thing. It would be like a 6-hour drive or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like being in a car for that long. I find it challenging to drive like more than an hour. So
I can tell you,
I mean,
that's all we
you
did.
could not live here in Texas then.
Yeah, that's all we did.
I do it, but I don't enjoy it. Like I don't like driving more than an hour and a half, 2 hours.
What are some of the road trips that you all have taken that you can recall? Have you actually taken?
Vegas?
Okay,
Like
Vegas.
when we moved from Vegas and we were coming here to Texas.
Okay.
That was a long, nice trip, but we made it fun. Though we stopped in a bunch of different states, and just enjoyed seeing different things.
Sure.
But we made it fun. I went through Nebraska and saw my parents.
Sure. So made little stops along the way. Yeah. How old was she at that time? If you recall.
So we come from Maryland.
No.
You talking about here?
From Las Vegas. Oh, from Las Vegas, we're going to Las Vegas to Maryland.
To Maryland.
Oh, yeah, not Texas. Sorry.
Yeah.
We went from Las Vegas to Maryland. So we made that whole trip through the Midwest and back down through the South. And we stopped here in Texas, and then we made our way through Florida and then up the East Coast in Maryland. And then when we left Maryland, we came here. So we went back down the East Coast.
Oh my gosh.
Florida.
Wow.
Around the South, and then here to Texas.
And what span of time did you do that?
Maryland from here, I think it was did we do like a week?
In terms of road trip itself, yeah, it was about a week. It was about a week.
But
Each one was about a week.
Yeah.
Stopped at different places.
Right. Yeah. So what are some of the activities that you all do on those long road trips?
Well, actually, we do play word games. So
okay.
We'll be like, we'll pick a subject. I don't know, like fruit. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, or like cities, but we'll go through the alphabet and like I have to name something with A, and then my husband has to start with B, and we'll go around. We do that, and that keeps us entertained. We did sort of tell the kids that we tricked them. They didn't realize until later that this was like a trick, but we're like, let's play the silent game.
Oh, every parent does that.
Every parent 3, 2, 1. But they didn't realize like that was not an actual game until many years later. We're like 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't remember road trips as much for myself because my mother used to hate driving. To this day, I mean, she drives now, but even now, I've noticed as her age, she does not like driving. So we never took a lot of road trips. Now, when people came to visit, we would take road trips. But I would say as far as growing up, the road trips that I used to go with was my uncle and my aunt. We used to go to Chicago. We used to drive from Houston to Chicago.
Oh my!
And we did that twice. And I remember it was my uncle's VW van. You remember those old vans, like camper van? It had, had a little stove and all that stuff. But it was three of us. Wow. My 2 cousins, and myself, and then my aunt and my uncle. So I would go. That was our road trip. And typically, I think, or I should say, usually it was during the colder months. So it was.
Well, how long did that take, though?
I don't even know. I can't.
16
a long
hours, I
time.
think it is. I think it's like
It's
But
16
that's like
hours.
continuous driving. No one drives for
Yeah.
you shouldn't be driving
Yep.
for that long.
We would stop
Continuously.
because
Yeah, I've done
we would
that
stop
before.
because my uncle would do all the driving. If I can remember correctly, he was the one that was always
Alright.
driving. As far as an adult, we've been everywhere. Earl and I
Okay.
have driven from for my best friend's wedding. Actually, we drove from Houston to Rhode Island.
Oh my God. I thought you were gonna say like
And
Maine, but that's pretty
oh
doggone
no,
close. Oh
no,
my God.
we've done. I think our weirdest or most complex road trip that we've ever taken as a family, and this is with I think a 15-year-old at the time. Maybe Kayla was my oldest was probably maybe she might have been 13. I also had they're 11 years apart, so figure it out. I know for sure that Mason was 4 and Julia was a year and a half. So we went from Houston to Orlando because we went to Disney World.
Oh my
From
God.
A year and a
Disney
half
World.
old? Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh
Disney
God.
World to St. Louis, St. Louis to
Wow.
Delaware, to Jersey, then Delaware back to St. Louis, St.
What
Louis.
the hell? I'm looking at the map behind you and I'm like, are you flipping kidding me?
2.5 weeks we took.
Oh
That is
no,
insane.
hell no. Because little kids don't understand that they can't just like get out of the car seat. I mean, because nowadays you can't just have them be bopping around in the
I
back.
know, but it
And
was snacks.
well, yeah.
Snacks.
But after a
Lots
while,
and
like
lots of snacks.
I mean, we were only going from DC to West Point, and like the traffic was so bad. And Kamran was a toddler, like 9 months old, just screaming. And I mean, there was nothing I could do. He wanted out, and we weren't
Sure.
there yet.
Sure.
And so like, and and Thomas is driving his own vehicle, so he's just like. Meanwhile, I'm with the screaming kid, and we had the little walkie-talkies, and I was trying to like, I was pressing the button so he could hear Kamran screaming, but I'm sure he just turned that shit off.
Oh my
Turn
gosh.
it up on it.
And I remembered that trip because we had one of the Toyota Siennas, I would say post egg shape, right? So it was one of the newer ones, that was shaped, and you could remove the seat.
Is it the
So
caravan looking? Caravan?
Yeah, it was like it was a minivan,
Mhm.
if you will. And so we took out one of the seats, which was the back seat. So Mason was in the very back, Julia in her car seat in the captain seat, because they had captain seats in that second row, and then Kayla in the other captain seats, and then Earl and I up front. And that sucker was loaded down because that one had the pocket, that has like the deep pocket underneath. So that was kind of like the new thing. And all we did was pass snacks back and forth. And I just remember us passing the snacks and Julia just, being 1.5. And if she didn't get any, if we were passing it back to Mason, she would go.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is that when it was time to stop or we, rest stop or whatever, we would take Julia out of her car seat and there was nothing but crumbs bottom because she did not miss a snack.
Oh gosh.
It was everything. It was like Oreos and
But what do you do
Cheetos
for
and
all that? Like, I just can't. Like, I
music.
just don't.
Music.
Oh my God, it's so boring.
Music
Like,
has been
yeah.
Or probably one of those games, right? You go
Yeah,
back.
we played those.
Yeah, I mean, you
like
do the games, but
I was gonna
yeah.
say by the time Julia was coming up, iPad was out, I'm assuming, or
but
iPod or something like
we
this.
never had any of that. It was always music, and you brought your own book. Mason would bring his books.
a
Kayla
book.
had her books,
I
and she
can't
had her
read in the
music.
car. I get nauseous.
There are a couple of times when we've done a trip together too, where we follow a similar pattern. Where we stop in Kansas City, but on the way back, we typically stop in Oklahoma City and kind of experience Oklahoma City a little bit. There's this area called Bricktown.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
They got nice brewery there that we always go to.
Yeah.
And I got the river walk there too, and we've also seen the
was it 9/11?
not the 9/11, but
the when they had the bombing there.
Yes.
So they have a memorial there,
Yes.
Oklahoma bombing.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a memorial there. Okay.
Yes, there's a memorial there. It's very serene and
yeah.
It's very moving memorial.
So it's very well done. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's notable.
Yeah.
What else would you say that's along that route that that would be interesting to kind of take?
Well, I stopped in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Alexis
Tulsa
and
is a lot of fun. Yeah.
It was nice there.
Yeah, Black Wall Street.
We stopped. I had
Yeah,
Alexis with me, so we stopped at Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street,
We
yes.
went through the museums there,
Mm-hmm.
and just experienced all of that. For her, for
Yes.
me too.
Yes.
So it's just been kind of nice just to kind of experience different things, and then
Sure.
just showing Alexis the way and history and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We like to go to like Red Rock Canyon, which was very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There was wild horses out there, and then Mount Charleston. We live like in the valley, so we could see like the snow in the mountains on Mount Charleston.
Very
so
cool.
we'd go up to the mountains and be in the snow,
Sure.
and then we come down and it'd be 100 degrees,
Right.
So we went to Mount Charleston, and we used to really like to go to just south of the strip. I think it was south of the strip was Lake Las Vegas.
Okay.
And it was really beautiful out there. They had a bunch of nice resorts and restaurants, and
Sure.
it was just a really cool vibe out there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I really liked it out there.
Cool. What are some other memorable trips that you've taken that you think road tripping and just driving that you've gone to?
Well, I'll tell one that you probably are not thinking of right now. That's the one when we drove to San Francisco.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yes,
that
from
was the true test. That was the true test if we were going to make it as a couple. I worked for a doctor, and he was like, Destini, if you can make it through this trip, then he's the one. So we went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then we drove down the coast all the way down to LA.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was so beautiful, PCH, and
Of course, yes.
obviously we made it, but it was just a beautiful trip. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say the top 3 things that you should do when you road trip?
I always need food, snacks.
Snacks.
Snacks is always a thing for me.
Yes.
I would say have an open mind.
Uh-huh.
And as an example, when we were in the Grand Cayman, we decided to rent a car, and they drive on the other side of where they drive in the States.
Yes, so on the left.
Yes. So just be open and, be willing to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So have an open mind.
And what would you say the third thing is?
Safety. Just know where you're at, and just safety, because there's always good places and bad places wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of
just be mindful, right?
Yeah.
Now-
If I can add a fourth,
Yes, please.
I would say, all right, a 3B, all right? And that is to take your time,
Okay, yeah.
and taking the sceneries.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't go
Any of those road trips done pre-GPS?
Oh, with the
yeah.
maps. Oh God.
Yeah, with actual maps. Yeah.
An actual map, yeah. So you really didn't know how long it was going to take you to get there. You just kind of thought, based on the fact that you were going a certain speed.
Or you had to have like the
there.
book, and then you had to get a different map or cross pages.
Or you
Yes.
just, or if you guys remember mapquest.com, because you can, or you go to AARP.
Oh, you would do it in advance and print
Yeah,
it.
and then
right?
they mail you.
Yes.
They mail you the
Oh my
the
God.
directions. I
Yeah, but
remember
that was even before then, because yes, you could
Yeah.
do that, but
Yeah.
before you could even look it up,
You're
we had
like,
the atlases.
I mean,
So
it
You pull
was
over on the side of the
paper.
road because you got to look.
or you'd be trying to do it while driving, which isn't very.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
my
myself, you
God.
know me, the planner, I would actually have the map. I would have it out on which way we could go. We would have like a different,
God.
well, if we cut through on this street, we might be able to do this. It took us, I remember making that trek to Disney World because we had never been. We had never been that way before, going straight up 10, going, what is that, east?
And it doesn't give
Straight
you
east?
detours either.
Oh, no. So I remember doing that, and I remember stopping off at a convenience store and asking, Carl was like, so how much longer? We got to Panama City or Panama or Pensacola, and we're like, oh my God, we're almost there.
Oh my God, no, you're not.
No, we weren't. And I remember going to
You got like 8
convenience
hours
store.
left.
They were like, oh no, you got like, about 8,
8
10
hours
hours. If you're
left,
gonna stop
yes.
again, we actually didn't make it to our condo, I think, until about midnight. at night.
Oh,
When we
gosh.
set out from
God.
like, I
Florida,
don't know,
between
5
Florida
or
and
6.
Pennsylvania and California, I don't know. Like, I remember I had to drive and doing road trip. Obviously, I did it by myself. This was when I was moving to Oklahoma.
Oh
When
my
I just
gosh. There's
graduated.
nothing to see either. Wow.
Nothing to see. And not only that, I had my first car that I can proudly say I bought after graduation. And it was a geo tracker. I don't know if you guys remember that was. I mean, I was
Oh, I
going to school
remember.
at Miami. So I was
Yeah, I
like,
remember.
Mm.
I pulled the top down. But here's the kicker. I drove in that from Miami to New York, to see
Oh
family before
my
moving.
God. That's so
Yeah, before
far.
moving to New York, moving to
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Then I had to drive from New York, drive the whole length of Pennsylvania from
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the turnpike is I don't like it.
Let me tell you, that
Oh,
was the worst drive ever, and I was
Yeah.
by myself, and I didn't even have a radio in my car because I couldn't afford it.
oh,
Oh, what
okay.
did
That's
you
where
do?
death would have
How did
happened.
you stay
I wouldn't even
awake?
set out. There's no way I could set out on a trip
I
without
was
music. There's
I
no
was
way.
going nuts. I was going nuts. I was
Oh,
singing
that's
to myself. I was by
horrible.
myself. I was singing to myself. People probably thought I was a loony bin because I literally
With a license.
yeah,
Ay.
I could not afford. This was when I was just about to be an officer, and I think I only had $300 to my name because we
Oh,
were
you were
getting the monthly
driving.
You
check.
hadn't gotten the
Oh
paycheck yet?
yeah.
Or...
Well,
Yeah.
we did.
Oh.
We got an ROTC paycheck, which was like $250.
No, you're a lieutenant
Oh,
paycheck.
no, not until you sign in. You
Oh,
know how
wow.
the government does
It's a
that.
good thing
So,
gas wasn't that expensive
oh
then.
yeah, exactly. And plus I had a small geo tracker, so I was good. And then
Oh, you
I
were straight.
did stay in a motel off the highway in Indianapolis.
Oh
That
my
was the
God. Like an
only time
actual
I stopped.
motel? Like a real
An actual
motel?
motel
Yeah,
where you
those
could see the
are
highway. It was
Jesus.
Those are
creepy as
seedy.
hell.
Yeah.
Those are seedy as
But it
hell.
was $35. And
Oh,
I
gross.
remember it was the creepiest thing because I was on the first floor and it wasn't like indoors, it was outdoor. It was
Right.
kind of like one of
Right.
those you walk up and you can just shoot somebody kind of hotel.
Wow. Yeah, it was the
yeah.
one with the door on the outside.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the biggest thing about road tripping, right, is the fact that it's more economical to do. Typically when you have more than one, right? Or more than two, I should
Yeah,
say.
buying plane tickets for 9 kids, like that's just
Yeah,
not.
it just doesn't work.
Train
And so
tickets.
being a
Those
right,
are even
trains,
more.
well,
It's just as expensive in the States.
well, in the
I was
States.
just going to say, depends on where
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, but as we're talking about this, and the economics of that, it makes sense to do that. Not to mention, I believe, because the United States, and I guess there's a continuous states and how they go, if you're not in Texas, because it takes you all day. If you're going to drive from tip to tip, it's going to take you all
Yeah.
day to get,
Right.
if not more, to get out of Texas.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It makes sense to be able to do that, particularly if you're moving, changing jobs, whatever the situation is. A lot of people will go to road trips. And so when I was speaking to Destiny and Mark, they actually spoke about one of their first trips that they actually took together.
What can you remember about road tripping to Vegas?
Well, that's a very memorable experience. The reason being because Destiny and I were dating at the time, and I was actually stationed in Omaha, Nebraska. So I got orders to relocate from Omaha to Las Vegas.
Right.
And she graciously rode with me. So that was a long drive. I can't recall I know where we stopped.
We stopped in
Yes, we stopped. Yes, yes. So yes, I think we drove. Yeah, we stopped in New Mexico. We stopped in Albuquerque.
Okay, yeah.
And so had a chance to walk around Albuquerque a little bit. So
right.
The sites and stuff like that. And then from there we continued west, and we stopped in the Flagstaff area.
We stayed in.
Yes, absolutely right. Yes.
Okay.
We stayed in Flagstaff. I can't recall if we went to the Grand Canyon.
We were on the rim of it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, the rim of the Grand Canyon. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
And
that's
that was my first time.
really.
Yes.
And what was that experience like, Destiny? What was that? What was that? I mean,
It was
kind
amazing because you see it in books or on TV or whatever, but just the grandness of it, it was nice, and hiked down a little bit. I got a little scared, but we came back up. But it was nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. Have you all driven internationally? Have you driven on the other side of the road for a road trip?
In Japan, yeah, for whatever reason, they drive on the other side of the road, which
Yeah.
is
So
definitely
being left as opposed
yeah,
to the
yeah.
right.
difficult
I have.
to yeah.
Yeah, I have, and I tried when I was in New Zealand, but I failed miserably, and I got out of driving actually, and had friends do it for me because it was a stick
Uh-huh.
shift.
Oh,
And
with
I'm
stick
not
shift.
that, yeah, I
With the
wasn't
left
that great.
hand, yeah.
Exactly. I
Also
wasn't great
on
at
the
it.
other side of, and
On
then
the
driving
other
on the
side,
left.
and
Oh, that's a
yes.
lot.
My fear was always the intersections,
Mm.
you know, because we're used to,
No,
okay,
I've
pulling
fucked
out,
that
make a
up
left.
Stoplight.
before.
There's a bunch of
Yeah.
roundabouts
I've
for sure.
turned
Yeah.
into the
Well-
wrong lane and like
Right, because of the steering wheel is on the wrong side, and it freaks me out all the time because I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the passenger seat and I'm like, why are you going over? You're veering. And I'm like, they're like, what are you talking about?
yeah, it's weird.
You know,
It
it's
is.
weird. So I
mean,
would probably
but
never do that.
what was interesting was after living in Japan for 5 years, it became normal. And then to watch like TV shows, it seemed
Mm.
weird for them driving on the right side of the road. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the most scenic route you've ever taken?
I think the most scenic, or the most, well, not the most beautiful, because I have so many. And if I'm talking domestically in Europe,
Mhm.
one of my memorable one that I recently did earlier in January was in the French Riviera, where I
I can only
rented a car
imagine.
from Nice, and you know, each town you can drive, and it's literally one way this way and one way the opposite way, because you're going around. It's kind of like San Francisco or California, driving around the cliffs,
Right.
and it's just gorgeous and just stunning with the, you know, is it the Mediterranean? I don't know what ocean that is, but whatever, the ocean that's out there.
I don't care.
Geography. Well, so actually driving from here to Las Vegas, because I was surprised with Utah. I mean, I thought it was going to
Utah's
be like
beautiful,
a
yeah. It's
wasteland.
beautiful.
We'd never, and we were
A lot
like,
of mountains.
wow. Yeah, just the
of mountains.
vastness of
Mhm.
the landscapes here, incredible. Like I just could
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
believe how beautiful it was. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like
We
that.
have
And of
done
course,
Houston. We've done Houston to Vegas, and I've taken that route
yeah,
a couple of times.
New Zealand.
New Zealand is
Oh
gorgeous.
God, I can only
Oh.
imagine New
Middle
Zealand.
Earth,
That's on
man,
my
Middle
list.
Earth. I'm like,
Yeah, but not only
We
New
need to do that.
Zealand.
We need to
Yeah.
schedule New Zealand, the three of us. That's
It must be the
true.
South Island, not
South
the
Island,
North.
South Island,
is
oh God,
the gorgeous.
absolutely.
I would do that
Oh.
So
trip
that's right.
again.
I was gonna live in Wanaka. You're gonna live in Queenstown. That's right.
Bingo. That's right. That's right. That's right. Queenstown.
We
Because
had talked
Queenstown
about
looks
that.
like
Find a
a
spot
mountain.
then.
And
I'm
Trisha,
gonna
you
have to
can
find
be
a
in the
spot.
middle. Maybe you can be in like Wellington or something like this. I don't know.
Okay,
Or
whatever. I'll be
Christchurch.
there.
Christchurch.
That's on the
Oh,
other
gosh.
side.
Yeah, but that's expensive because they don't have a lot of housing there. They're just starting to get that, get the housing back up.
Oh
Since
no, I think,
since
but they have more sheep than people. That's
They
all.
do. It's really far away
It's
though.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
it
It is
took
far away.
14 hours to get there from Tokyo. Like it's
Yeah, it was far.
far.
It's far.
Well,
Just get there.
Enjoy the
This has
journey,
been-
folks.
Yeah, enjoy the journey. If anything, that's how we should end the show, and saying that
Yes.
enjoy the journey. And this has been great. I've really enjoyed speaking to you all
Yeah.
about road tripping. Now I want to go on a road trip.
And I mean, we should.
Yeah, we should. We
We
should.
really
do
need
a
to.
trip. Where the
We
hell
should
would we
do
go?
that. So
Would
I'm
it be
gonna throw it out there.
domestically, Canada, or
Well, we can figure it out. But
Europe?
how about we do this? How about we ask our viewers, where should Benef,
Where do you
Paul,
want to
and
see us
Trecia
go?
Where do you want to see us go on our road trip?
State
Tell us
photos.
tell us where the spots that we
In
should
the
go
comments.
within the
Yeah, where should
Midwest,
we go?
in the middle of the country, and give some points. Give us some pointers. Where do you
Yes,
live?
yes.
What do you find interesting about your city? The reason why we should come and visit. So I think that's it for us for Rhythm
Yeah.
Rome
Yeah.
today. But
Yay!
great conversation. Don't forget to definitely subscribe, like, and comment, and make sure you share with your friends. We really want to know what you all think, and share your road trip with us. We'd love to know where you've been. that's all for now. See you guys next time.
Ciao.
Deuces.